This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, Forged Irish Stout, and freebets.com. Delighted to be joined with, I suppose now, former professional boxer John Ryder. I suppose we'll just start on that. Just literally just announced your retirement about 10 minutes ago. Um, your initial thoughts and feelings that now it's time for the professional career to come to an end.
Yeah, mate. I think won't say it's not been a long time coming, but it's something that I felt I could have done after the Canelo fight, but always I felt great after the fight and was like, I can't wait to do this again. So it was like the test. But I mean, eight months down the line, a year older, I think it was just evident when I got in the ring on the Saturday that I didn't have it anymore.
Yeah. And I suppose when you said that and having the idea for you to not have it anymore, was that a hard thing for you to accept with that fight after Munguia?
Yeah, I mean it's a harsh reality. I think I like to think I'm a realist, and I obviously think I obviously thought I was better than I was at the time, and it takes getting in the ring to find out. At times, I think I was doing what I needed to do in sparring and training and whatnot, but in the ring on fight night, it wasn't there, and that's not to take nothing away from Jaime Munguia, but I just don't feel like I was at the races.
And for yourself, is it an important thing now that you've called it a day, but you've also called it a day where your health is intact? You know, you've had some really, really big fights for yourself, some big paydays, and after boxing, you are, you know, very, very safe in a way where it can't be said for a lot of boxers. So is that an important thing for you that you've got a lot of things intact outside of boxing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like I've got more out of boxing than boxing's got out of me.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I feel content with my decision, and I'm happy. I've got great people around me, and I'm just obviously boxing's a big part of my life and has been, but it will remain. So I'm not missing out on too much.
Okay. And I know it's raw and the emotions are very, very real now. But people do tend to struggle after retirement. And for yourself, how's it sort of going to feel now that it's no longer, you know, John the boxer and, you know, you're sort of trying to, I suppose, integrate back into society again, where you aren't going to have that routine of, you know, training for a fight, being in the gym every day and all those sorts of things.
I'll probably be known as Heidi and Brody's dad now. Time I time I
Yeah.
become the full time parent, and yeah, I mean, give back to my kids, give back to my partner, and just listen. My dreams and aspirations are to help Tony in the gym, and I think
Yeah.
that's the natural progression for me. So I'll still be very much involved in boxing. I'll still be around it. I'll still be around the group of alpha males and females in the
Yeah.
gym, and I'll get my fix another way now.
Definitely. And with you saying there, just going back to the point you said that you felt like you've got a lot more from boxing. It's important to understand that when you have called a day on your career, that it's important that you've done it now, as we was previously stating, because boxing is an unforgiving sport, and sometimes the sport necessarily doesn't love you back as much as you love it.
No, and that's it. And at times I've felt that. I felt like the sport's not giving me the love that I'm giving the sport, but now I do. I feel like we're on an even playing field. Got a lot to be thankful to boxing for, the place I've gone, the people I've met, um, and I've got memories and friendships that will last a lifetime.
And with your career now, how would you say you look back on your career? I think it's fair to say a lot of ups and a lot of downs as well. Um, when you look back on it now, it's only you only really get to look back on it once it's all said and done. Now it's all said and done. How do you look back on the career of all the highs and the low periods?
Yeah, I mean highs and lows, but the highs definitely outweigh the lows. So I'm
Yeah,
thankful for that. Um, and like I say, thankful of the people I've got to meet. There is some real friends for life there. Um, and just thankful for the life boxing's given me. I've
yeah.
started boxing as a shy, timid teenager, and I've grown into a confident man.
And another thing important to accept for yourself, what we was talking about off camera, is that the decision now to retire. It's important that you obviously don't want to be recognised as a stepping stone for someone coming through. So as we were saying, you know, the ambitions that you may have had, you know, now are different to someone that is coming through, you know, a potential super middleweight, young and hungry, and have different ambitions to what you may see in boxing.
Yeah, I mean, not to discredit anyone that wants to do that and be a stepping stone. I mean, journeyman
Yeah,
are the heart and soul of this sport, and I've got nothing but credit for them. But of 20 years competitive boxing now, and it's like I've missed out on so much. I've got a 9-year-old daughter, and I'm just looking back through memories with guilt and things I've missed out on. And it's like at some point I've got to give back to these. I know my life still will be very full on with boxing, obviously in a trainer capacity now, but it's getting the balance right now of being the trainer but being the parent. So I'll sit down with Tony. We'll work out a plan and something that suits both.
Do you feel like now you can fully appreciate your life, where you haven't got to make as many sacrifices as you would in these past 20 years, and really, as you said, see your children sort of grow up and become their own people?
Yeah, of course. And like listen, seeing them, I've tried to teach them lessons in ways that they might never realize, but I've tried to teach them that you can achieve your dreams and you can pursue your dreams and have a career following your dream. I hope they take note in that, and I hope they try and do it themselves one day. But I mean, for me now, it's about giving back to the next gen coming through. And I mean, what better than telling people to do something and having done it yourself and been there and walked that line yourself. And I think that I'll get a lot of credit and respect from future people I work with because of that.
And when you thinking back to your pro debut and you look back now, from the man that made the pro debut, did you ever think you could go on and achieve the things that you did achieve? Fighting Canelo, fighting sort of Munguia, and challenging for world titles, and all these sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, it was always the dream to be a world champion, and listen, I come close. Got 2 interim belts there, which are nice to look at and nice to keep. But I think the memories of the fights I've had, the Canelo fight, the Munguia fight, the Jacobs fight, I mean, fighting in Vegas, is great memories for me. And listen, no world title will ever replace that.
And the one thing I did want to ask you, when it came to fighting Jaime Munguia compared to Canelo, them two potentially fighting down the line, what were the comparisons that you saw fighting someone like Canelo compared to fighting someone like Jaime Munguia?
I think it's hard to make an assessment. I think myself that fought Canelo wasn't myself that fought Jaime Munguia. I think 8-9 months down the line, I think the Canelo fight probably took a lot more out of me than I actually thought it did at the time. But listen, Munguia's I think we take away that Munguia's 27 years of age. He's probably in his prime now. Canelo's potentially past his best, and I definitely was past my best. But I mean, Munguia's continued to rise. He's probably at the pinnacle now, and Canelo's continued to on the decline. So, I mean, it's all about timing. So, who knows?
And you mentioned there just the last one for me about helping Tony back at the gym. And you see last weekend, very, very successful week for the gym. You saw got young guns coming through, George Liddard and Jimmy Sainz both putting on really, really good performances, and Conor Benn as well, obviously. Looking forward to sort of the talent that is coming through in the young stable at the Matchroom Gym. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's great to see Jimmy and George making their Vegas debut so early in their career. George's 6th fight, Jimmy's 3rd fight. It's great for them. Getting to fight around the world, submersing themselves in camps abroad is good for them moving forward. It's going to be good to be part of. They're 2 very young, talented kids. And it's been great to share the ring with them sparring. It'll be great to help them out, holding the pads for them and teaching them things on the bag and whatnot.
Do you plan to share your experiences like outside the ring as well, and dealing with all types of stuff in your career towards sort of the young guys coming through, especially early in their pro career?
Yeah, of course. I mean, anything I can shed some light on, then I'm going to be an open ear for them to talk to and give them the words of advice where I can.
Definitely. Well, just as we do close this off, I suppose the final one, as you do call it a day, from me to you, John, I'd just say congratulations on retirement. And it's been a real pleasure covering. Although I sort of covered the back end of your career, it's been a real pleasure covering your career, going to your fights and speaking to you. And I would like to wish you all the best for the future. I'm sure it won't be the last time that we're catching up. But yeah, all the very best, mate. It has been a real pleasure, and you deserve everything that you have now, mate.
No, thank you, mate. I'm sure I'll see you before too long. I won't be a stranger. I'll be in and around the sport and at the shows, so I'll see you before too long. That's for sure.
Top man, John. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, thank you, mate.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com. Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.